Hello, lovelies, friends old and new. So, if you're a new friend and we haven't met before, my name is Katya, and I'm going to bring in intuitive guidance for the collective, timeless. So, whenever this message finds you, it's the perfect time. And as always, take whatever resonates with you, whatever pleases you, and whatever does not, let it go. Set it free. So, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Delightful to connect with you, as always. So, I'm going to open up a little sacred container for us so we can enjoy this journey together even more so. Okay, so just gonna light a candle. Which I might not like, but such is the way of the. It's trying. I have a backup candle. This is a deep message: is always have a backup candle on your journey to clarity. Okay, let's put it somewhere. It's not too crazy looking. Okay. Now this candle got motivated. Okay, so we're gonna ring a little bell that I've made just for these types of things. It's my ritual bell, one of the designs I have. I make my own ritual tools because I didn't find anything that I felt was magical enough and special enough. So I started making them, and I have them up on my website. And if you see something you like, I also do things that are custom and special and one of a kind. Okay, so let's ring a little bell and take a breath with me, just so we can connect and clear our mind together, so we may enter a space of peace and grace with this sweet sound. Wonderful. Okay, so interesting. So usually my non-message part is shorter, but today it was a bit meandering, so I'm actually getting it's part of the message. Part of the message is patience and meandering ways. So patience is a hard one for many. It is for me. I've finally becoming a more patient person, I think, as I'm getting older. Or I think I just hide my impatience better. I don't know. But patience, when considered as a sweet feature of life, can be quite relaxing. If you get a message that it's time to be more patient, it actually means that you're moving at the right pace, that there's nowhere you need to rush, there's nothing you really need to hurry up, and you're at a place where you can surrender and be still and just wait for things to come in and wait for things to unfold as they may, and you don't have to try to control them. You don't have to try to put so much energy into trying to make something happen. So no trying. It's a very trying free space. So I'm kind of getting the hippie urge to try a little less right now. Try a little less. Is that ever really a suggestion we get? I don't think so, and I think we should sometimes. Sometimes trying is actually a way for us to engage in busy work. It's for a way for us to grasp onto something and not let it go, not let it blossom. And I have this beautiful orchid here, and I mean, it's gonna blossom when it blossoms, and there are ways you can speed up the blossoming, and you can feed it well and fertilize it, and you can water it, but it still has its own rhythm as well, and you can influence it somewhat, and sometimes you have to just step back and let it do what it needs to do and just enjoy it when it happens, and then have a moment of peace in between. So I'm getting that's really is a big message here, is that moment of peace in between something, between the time when something was desired and the time when it actually happens or unfolds in some way that's close to its desired path. So that moment of peace can be really lovely. We don't need to always have the thing we want. We don't need to always have the project finished or the relationship happening or the work ongoing. We can let things go and just focus on something else. So focusing on something else is very important, because I'm actually getting the patience aspect that you're being called to analyze and kind of surrender to in your life. Has something to do with also hidden things. So perhaps you're impatient about something in your life, let's say romance or finances or something big, and you feel like once that's in order, then you can look at the rest of your life. right? And it's a dangerous premise because the rest of your life is also your life and it's happening, whereas now your romance and finances are in order, quote unquote, of course, because who even knows what that really is supposed to look like for you, right? It's always a meandering path, coming back to meandering path metaphor. So basically, there's something hidden right now going on where because you're so fixated, maybe not the entire time, but consistently so, on an area of your life where you feel like something isn't happening fast enough, you're actually missing out on something that's trying to happen for you. Or really needs your attention, so it might be your spiritual path in life. It might be a smaller creative project that's been kind of left on the sidelines until this big thing comes through. It might be a connection or relationship that isn't the one you're truly seeking, you think, but it actually is a lovely friendship to explore and to get quite a bit out of, and could be something really delightful and giggle filled in your life. So yeah, what if those big things, or one or many of them, did not have to happen today? What if it's okay? What if they're happening at the pace at which they need to happen? That's the meandering path. But what if you're actually exactly where you need to be, but you're taking this beautiful meandering route, and along it there are treasures, there are amazing things to see, there are beautiful sights, there are beautiful things to be found, foraged in the woods, and you're missing out because you're so focused on getting to that end fast enough, and it's actually not speeding up your process because you're exhausting yourself, right? So let's say we're on a long hike and you're not taking any breaks and you're just trying to get to the top as fast as possible. That actually might slow you down because you might get injured, you might get winded, you might get discouraged and even turn around, right? But if you listen to the internal rhythm, if you practice some patience and you work with what you're capable of and what's actually happening, perhaps the weather conditions have changed from what you were expecting them to be, and you need to adjust for that, you'll find something else delightful. Let's say it started raining and it's slowing down your hike, but maybe now there's beautiful rainbow on a sideline somewhere, or perhaps something else occurring that you didn't even expect. So yeah, so this spiritually guided patience is actually can be an oasis of peace, and also a place where there are beautiful things to be experienced and seen that maybe are slipping you by because you're so busy trying to make this one thing happen, or many things happen that feel important to you, but in reality are not quite ready for you yet. Maybe you're not ready for them either. Maybe it's not time for you yet. Maybe you're being tempered in some way, and of course it can be difficult when it's something very obviously necessary to, let's say, survive or perform well in society in some way, but there's still some magic in that. There's still some magic in that tension between you needing this thing and it not happening yet. There's something there. And of course, we're not talking about shelter and basic necessities and food. We're talking about things that feel like they would really make your life better, and they're not happening yet. So so try to kind of meditate on this, ponder this playfully. Are there things in your life that you're really grasping onto that are not really in your control and maybe draining you more than nourishing you? And then you might have to surrender for a bit. Just you focus on them. Maybe it can be a little less intense. Maybe just soften the gaze in that direction. And as you do that, maybe in peripheral vision, there's something else. Something maybe smaller, not as flashy, not as understandably important in life, trying to invite you in. As I said, maybe you're seeking romance, but there's a friendship blossoming that's really incredible. Maybe you're seeking financial abundance that maybe is quite essential to you, but maybe on the sidelines there's free time blossoming because you currently have more free time. And maybe there's some hobbies and passions that you've already invested into that wouldn't really require any financial investment, but they would require time. And once your finances shift, maybe your time wouldn't be as available to you for like more free form creative processes. So it's very important to take moments and step back from the grasping and try to view your life as balanced, as cosmically balanced, and see if it can work for you, especially things you really cannot control. So of course, let's say you're having a health issue, maybe it is time to really put some effort into trying to resolve it. That's a different thing. But things like jobs or romance or living situation. Sometimes we can't control things like that. Sometimes there are other factors, other people involved who have a different level of impact on it. And all we can really do is either be resisted or surrender. And of course, this surrendering can be really challenging, but I'm hearing that in that surrender, there's something lovely trying to blossom. There's something wonderful trying to come in and fill this perceived void that you have, that you think this bigger thing, a more important thing should be in. And in reality, it's actually open space for this wonderful, wonderful thing or things that you haven't quite considered, or haven't considered seriously enough, or haven't really given that much importance in your life. And something beautiful can blossom from that as well. You know, let's say that friendship could become a work relationship as well. Perhaps will actually help you on your path to financial abundance, or perhaps that side hobby or that you now have time for, doesn't really require any financial investment, could blossom into a true passion in your life, and something that gives your life more meaning and more peaceful, contemplative time, you know, time of flow, time of union with the creative force. So those are invaluable gifts, and all you really have to do is be patient and and not try so hard. It sounds like a pretty sweet path. So, you know, I love this message for all of us, and I myself can really definitely use it, because there's definitely a side of me that is extremely impatient, wants things now, wants all of them, and right now. But I'm also delighted in divine detours and meandering path. I do see the beauty of it, and countless treasures have been encountered on this path. And so I think that's the same thing is going to happen to you, and probably has been happening to you in your life. So try to surrender, and even enjoy the surrender, and just see what is along the walk, what is along the hike that isn't the top of the mountain, that isn't on your agenda, but is actually there, sweetly inviting you in and trying to delight you and give you more sense of beauty and pleasure in your life. So that's all I have for today. That sounds really sweet, and yeah, I myself am excited to play with this idea. So yeah, let's take a little moment together and close the container, so we may integrate this message into our daily life. May it bring us peace and grace. Till we meet again.